This is from 3 years ago.
I said you've never done what?
Island, I've never been to UP, I've never seen the bridge.
Yes. went to that one.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's get this Committee on Development and Planning Committee meeting started. Let the record reflect that all committee members are here. And with that, we have the minutes of April 23rd, 2025.
Yeah, I'm gonna propose just one amendment. Look at the very last item for other, and it's on the, the ordinance amending part 12, title 6, chapter 1250 to include 1250.04.08 accessory dwelling units. At the end of that sentence, there is no end of the sentence. So I believe it should say ordinance. So part of the ordinance period. So with that amendment,
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, with that, we are to public comment on agenda items. If there's anybody here from the public that would like to speak, now's your time. You have up to 3 minutes to speak. Do you have anybody from the public that would like to speak? Seeing nobody from the public. Do we have anybody online? No one online. Okay. With that, we'll move on to the discussion action item B, resolution of the reappointment of John Rouge, First Ward Member, Planning Commission, term to expire June 30th. This is a reappointment. Gentleman is not here. Do you have any questions from the committee?
I do not.
I do not either.
So look for a motion.
I would move the appointment of John Rook.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, moving down, resolution C, appointment of Hillary Kibb, resident member, Lansing Gateway Corridor Improvement Authority, Board of Directors, term to expire June 30th, 2028. Hillary, please join us at the table. It's the opportunity, give you a little bit of opportunity to tell us a little bit about yourself, why you want to serve, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to join you guys today. My name is Hillary Kipp, and I have been a Lansing resident for 16 years, almost 6 of which have been spent in the necessary proximity to serve on this board. I consider myself somebody who plans on living in Lansing probably for the rest of my life. Right. So I am excited for the opportunity to improve this corridor as somebody who lives, works, walks my dogs, rides my bikes, hangs out with my neighbors over in that region as much as possible. The opportunity to improve it, whether that's through economic development, walkability, right, anything for residents or for visitors. I'm excited for that.
All right. Well, I appreciate your willingness to serve. Thank you very much. Welcome to Lansing 16 years ago. Do we have any questions from the committee?
No, I certainly appreciate your willingness. Appreciate the vision that you kind of just laid out. That corridor needs a lot of kind of reimagining. I struggled at, when we're flying out of the Capital City Airport, and that's the corridor that people are essentially introduced to when coming into our city. So look forward to partnering with you and with the entire authority to again reimagine and hopefully start to implement development plan and tip knowledge and things like that. But thanks for your willingness. Appreciate it.
Mr. Cost?
Yeah, just quickly, what are some improvements you would like to see on that corridor?
Well, I guess without knowing the things you guys already have working, I think I read that the sort of like the Lansing Area Economic Development Group had some survey out, and I think it was related to that. And so I always am reluctant when I'm entering a board and some sort of governance committee on talking about what visions I have without knowing what work is underway, right? I think it's a little bit toned up. But what I will say is, when I look at some of the restaurants and major establishments, I think that we're attracting people over there. I've seen quite a few of those close. I agree, when people fly into the Lansing airport to come visit me or to come downtown or to come, go to Michigan State or do anything like that, I'm regularly hearing that is the front door of Lansing and this is our first impression, sometimes of the state, but certainly of the city or of this region as a general whole. And so I think sort of just general improvements for residents, more to do over there, more walkability. I want to walk my dogs up and down Grand River because I live in a neighboring neighborhood right off of Delta River Drive, and I feel like sidewalks end and I'm not really able to do that, right? And so I think general walkability, getting businesses over there that are going to attract people and support other, sort of economic development around in that region, I think would be interesting for me.
Yeah, I was looking for you to say that Burger King outside of the airport, which you covered.
I love a Whopper with,
It is.
I love a Whopper with cheese, no ketchup. So we can get it back, right? We can try.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna come back there, but I would like to see that building gone because that is a terrible impression of our city. You hit it. You found it. The entrance to the airport is, a big part, I think, of Grand River, and seeing improvements there is gonna be huge when you look at Grand Rapids. Their Gerald R. Ford Airport, the entryway there is beautiful. I'm excited to see you serve on this and flourish, especially living so close to that avenue. I grew up on the north end, so it has seen better days. So I appreciate your willingness.
Okay, well, thank you, and thanks for being here and your willingness to serve. And I agree when you said walkability. I know I grew up right off the Tecumseh River Drive as well, and somebody that was close to my family got hit because they were walking on the street because it wasn't walkable. There wasn't a sidewalk over there, but appreciate that. And I guess one of my boilerplate questions is, if you do get appointed to this board, would you be willing to share any of the exciting news coming from that board to like the ward constituent contact meetings?
Yeah, absolutely. Like if I need to attend, and I think I'd be willing to find the flexibility in just my work schedule, my personal schedule to accommodate any of that.
Well, thank you. And with that, I'm looking for a motion.
Sure, I would move the resolution of appointment for Hillary Kipp. This is for a resident member position on the Lansing Gateway Corridor Improvement Authority Board of Directors.
Great. Okay, all those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, motion passes. Now, Hillary, this will go before council on June 23rd, 7 PM. Would you be able to make yourself available for that? If not, if you did get appointed, you could come down.
Is that a Monday evening?
It is a Monday.
That's, I think, that might be the one night that week that I can't. 7 PM, you said?
But, and if you can't.
Tentatively.
Okay, please get with Sherry one way or the other, as it smooths, no later than the Thursday before.
Or even that morning. We just need to be prepared that night because they'll swear you in live at the meeting.
Okay.
And if you can't, they can go.
And I'm going to try my best to be there. And then if I'm not present, do they swear me in or it would just get delayed?
You go to the clerk's office as early as the next morning to get sworn in.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving down to Resolution D, appointment of Dr. Christina Benton, at-large member of Economic Development Corporation, Tax Increment Finance Authority, Lansing Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors, term to expire February 28, 2029. Welcome. So you just kind of seen what we did. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, why you want to serve, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to introduce myself. Again, I'm Christina Benton. I do work for Anderson Economic Group, and I do a lot of economic development work. I'm not currently living in the city. I lived in the city for 10 years. I'm very passionate about economic development as well as helping the city, especially in terms of economic development. I want to see the city thrive, the downtown, the neighborhoods, the corridors. I want to see all of them thrive. And I want to be able to support that, to help out based on my academic and professional experience.
Well, thank you for your willingness to serve. Do we have any questions from the board?
I'm curious, why did you leave the city?
Yeah, my husband and I lived in the city for at least 10 years, but we have 2 kids and we lived in a small bungalow on the east side and we wanted more space. So we were looking for a bigger house.
Okay. Oh, I have it.
Well, I do see that you do have a PhD and a master in urban and regional planning. So I think you are definitely qualified for this. I appreciate you're willing to serve, and this is a regional position, so you don't have to live in the city of Lansing. I know your husband, he's with Nika, this electrical contractor, is a great guy. Met you a couple times, but I'm just happy to see that you're willing to serve in this regional position. So with that, I don't have any further questions.
And I actually appreciate your question, particularly with our economic development team here, some of our developers here. I think that is a critical question that we need to be asking at every turn because we hear about what we need in terms of our community to make it more livable, make it more attractive. But a lot of times that doesn't come from people that have actually voted with their feet and they've left. So the question becomes, how do we retain, how do we attract back? So that's interesting. With that, certainly appreciate your willingness, Christina. I will move the appointment of Christina Benton as an at-large member for the EDC, Tifa Lansing Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. And then, so you'll be up for June 23rd for appointment. Would you be able to make that meeting? Okay, and please just confirm with our office manager Sherry and on that agenda. Okay, moving down to E, resolution setting a public hearing for Brownfield Plan 86, Novi Properties, 820 West Miller Road. Who's here to present for that? Well, I'm excited about this property. I'm sure most of us on this committee is.
We have some copies of presentation materials here.
Is we? Yeah.
Is we?
There people will leave here. Help you.
Good job. Thanks so much.
I just don't know how we're.
All right, please explain what this 820 West Miller redevelopment is all about.
Yeah, appreciate it. So 820 West Miller, down on the south side. What you'll see here today is just an overview of brownfields in general, but then introducing both the development team as well as the project itself, and then the request, those are the request, including impact to the city taxes. So as we like to start, all of these presentations is giving a brief overview of the brownfield program. These ebb and flow as many as they go before council, but always good to just give a recap of what they are and what the tool does. So the Brownfield Redevelopment Financing Act, Act 381, there's identifying those sites, being eligible under this program. They'd have to be contaminated, blighted, functionally obsolete. They can be tax reverted, as well as adjacent to a brownfield. The basis of eligibility here is functional obsolescence, I believe. And it's a facility. So contamination facility, that's the other term for it there. And so it utilizes tax increment financing to fund eligible activities, the cost of those to reimburse the developer for incurring those costs. We have the chart here that shows essentially how that process works. You have a base value, the property's current value. And so anything above that, following reinvestment and completion of the project, that's the tax increment. So a portion of those are reinvested back into the project to reimburse the developer for those costs. There'll be a further breakdown of where those go. There's other entities and other costs that that increment is used to support. But then following completion of the brownfield plan and the reimbursement of those costs, it goes back fully on the tax rolls and at its full value. Again, the benefits of the brownfield program in general encourages redevelopment, especially redevelopment of difficult properties such as this, and helps those costs that are incurred, especially those extraordinary costs associated with contamination or a building that's functionally obsolete. So it helps address the public health issues through cleaning up environmental issues, and then hopefully attracting businesses and people to the city of Lansing, helping increase tax growth, tax revenue activity. Especially, I think the activation of this building is one of the key things that has really drawn our team to supporting it and working with James on the project. But I'll quickly just introduce the development team, and I'll let Melissa of an overview of the project. So the development entity is Novi Properties. So we have Melissa White and James Denning with us here today, and they were born and raised and currently residing in South Lansing. we would consider them emerging developers. This is their first, big development getting that underway. So I know that they've learned a lot. We've also learned a lot and worked for many years on this coming to fruition. Councilmember Hussein pushing us all the way too, and really appreciate that. Like it is a very key property that we've been interested in develop. So exciting to finally get to this stage. So they own businesses and invest in the city of Lansing as well throughout the time. So I'll throw it over to
Hello, I'm Melissa.
Hello.
I have met Adam Hussein. I've not had the pleasure. I have been kind of getting a little bit more comfortable watching the city council meetings, kind of understanding a little bit more about you guys, following you on Facebook. So I appreciate it. Novi Properties is not affiliated with the city. Novi, we actually created this business based off of the birth of our daughter. So our daughter's name is Novi. And that's why we changed the name to Novi Properties. So not only have I invested into properties in the city of Lansing, but I've also worked with county jails throughout the state of Michigan, helping with their medical budget. So I was actually previously a TPA for the county jails, and I processed medical claims on behalf of county jails. We have flipped properties. We've purchased properties from the property tax auction. We've flipped those. We've had rental properties in the past. So yes, this is our very first commercial project. And we have lived here in our entire lives.
Thanks for reinvesting in the city of Lansing. That's amazing.
You're right.
I'm James Denning, born and raised Southside Lansing, grew up in Churchill, went to Wainwright, went to Dwight Ridge, graduated from Sexton, left for college for a few years, ended up moving back, ended up working at Grand River plant for General Motors as an engineer for 10 years. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
So what are you guys looking to do here? I'm looking at a potentially outdoor venue, laundromat, common area, event space.
Yep, so project overview. Currently, there's 4 suites. We wanted to split those into 5 suites. There used to be an old dry cleaner laundromat that we plan on reactivating just as a laundromat. There was an old barber shop that was most recently a recording studio. We're going to use that as our office space, so we'll be on site on the property daily. That old bar, nightclub area, we wanted to split that in half. And the bar area, hopefully we can lease that out to somebody that's like, we're trying to encourage to do like some type of brunch restaurant. Probably closes at like 3 o'clock or something like that. The floor, the dance floor area, the second half is the bigger half. We wanted to make that an indoor venue for people to rent out, like baby showers, wedding receptions, networking events, birthday. Like my grandma just turned 103, so we have her birthday party there, like things like that. And in the old 7-Eleven, we're hoping to potentially we're planning on leasing that out, but to find somebody, a good business that would go there, it's kind of tricky. So we've spitballed some ideas, like maybe adding some like an eatery type of like a couple different eateries there, or just playing it by ear. But that's the overall idea. For the landscaping on the outside, we do plan to have an outdoor venue, flower garden, some walking paths. That's a part of a later phase, probably after construction is complete and the business has been, the laundromat is the I don't think I said the laundromat, we would be owner occupying. So after that business is up and running, the next phase would be to move into developing those suites and the landscaping.
Nice. That's a lot larger than I thought. I didn't realize it was 4.5 acres. That's a pretty good sized property.
Right.
So we've worked with Element Studio. We did go to a constituent meeting, share that with Adam. So we plan to take the entire property and do a landscape design throughout the whole property. So there'll be walk paths. There'll also be an area where there'll be an outdoor venue where people can get married outdoors. So the idea is to have like flowers and trees and swings and the metal artwork outside that people can come and have something more to look at than just grass.
Yeah, I'm sure the adjacent neighborhoods will be excited about it as well. Do we have any questions from committee?
So this is the 30-year plan. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. Do you want,
And contemplated, what's the capture?
so the total new taxes that would be generated, the tax increment would be about 602,000. The reimbursement of activities associated with the plan would be about 440,000. On page 50, the breakdown of those eligible activities was associated with that. So you can see the lead and asbestos abatement, the demolition, those are the primary activities. And then, fees associated with the assessment, environmental assessments, due care planning, all of that, as well as preparation of the plan, round all of that out. We have put some dollars from the Brownfield Authority to help support some of those initial costs. And then on page 16, it has the tax capture projections. So it breaks down that 600,000 and where those go throughout that 30 years. So again, the 440 would be to reimburse for eligible activities. We have the pass-through portion, which is 10%, as well as any voted debt. So the debt millages would not be captured, and that is about 112,000. And we have our plan administration, as well as supporting of the Brownfield revolving fund. That equates to 10%. So that's about 33,000. And then the requirement to provide a portion of the state tax capture to the state Brownfield revolving fund. That's about 18,000. So those are all the different components where I was saying like that increment, it's a portion of that's activities. And then there's other areas in which those taxes go as well. So that's the breakdown there. On page 17 shows the impact of taxes to the taxing units itself. So just looking at City of Lansing, specifically here, Lansing operating, you're looking at roughly 15 taxes, about 130,000, 132,000 to the plan cost that I just covered.
And Melissa and James, have you guys actually secured financing at this point?
So yes, we do have our term sheet. So we're working with PNC, but this entire process kind of been like the chicken and the egg. So they're on board. It's just, there's certain things that have to be lined up before they can just sign on the dotted line. But they did give me like the term sheet, the amount, and they pretty much vetted me all the way through. And I haven't had like any questionable red flags like from them reviewing my stuff. So I think we're good.
Our team's met with them as well, and shopped us around a variety of lenders throughout the last 4 years. I think, yeah. But we've met with PNC and shared the support that the city's providing or is recommending to provide to help support the development as well. So I think we have a good understanding, and we feel confident. We've seen the pro forma, went through all of that. So
yeah, my next follow-up with them would be once we get the approval for Brownfield. So once we get that, then we really can start the process of submitting the actual loan application. They have everything they need other than this, really.
I'll just say, I don't have a lot of questions because I've been kind of involved in some of the behind the curtain work. Meet regularly with the LEDC. They give me updates. I've talked to you all obviously offline about some things. I think we've all kind of learned a lot through this process. But they secured this property back in 2021, and they have been very, very persistent. I was worried that, over the years, they walk away from this. This is an incredibly difficult, I think, project to bring across the goal line. It's a difficult site to develop at this point. And I think this is exactly the type of project that these tools are meant for. So full support, and appreciate, again, you guys staying at the table and really being committed to a project like this.
H me.
All of us.
Yeah.
Real quick stories. I was at a just in terms of how critically important this is to that area. I was at a neighborhood watch meeting last week, and there was probably about 30 people who were all outside. And of course, you're there, and you think you're going to talk about public safety and police response and things like that. This is all they wanted to talk about. So this is over on Dash Street.
Oh, really?
So heard something's coming. We're incredibly excited. We can't wait to be able to get out and support. And so this means a lot, I think, to that area, to that community. So thanks. Yeah.
Trying to stay a little below the radar,
Folks,
Not real flashy.
folks know it's coming.
Yeah.
First, never let a teacher say they've got a quick story. Secondly, I just want to echo, I'm in full support. I'm old enough to remember going into that bar. It's been a very long time and an eyesore. The only thing I would strongly urge, as you figure out who's going to go into the front there, please not a liquor store.
Yeah, no, we've been following you guys. quite We've never had a thought of a liquor store.
You know, it'd be cool is some frozen yogurt. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Sugarberry.
As you can tell, I'm an expert in that
Yeah.
department. Thank you.
We're definitely real limited to food options in the city, so.
Some frozen yogurt would be killer. over there. I put some gummy bears on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, noted.
Hey, Adam,
The only other thing, and this is for Chris, why is there a difference? So when I look at these two plans and I look at the proposed timelines, there's a difference in terms of final approval. So we have for Brownfield Plan 86, we have it down as August 11, 2025. For Brownfield Plan 88, we have July 28th. Even though public hearing is established for the same date, July 14th, et cetera. Is there, and is that intentional?
Might have to get back to you on that. Hold on. Are all those dates accurate for when you all are meeting? Might have to take a look at the schedule.
I mean, I'm just hearing, from what I'm hearing, in terms of Melissa and James and, the fact that they have a lender that's kind of waiting on this. I mean, if we don't have to, pause between, what is it, July 23rd and August 11th, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the community and development planning on the 23rd, and then it goes directly to, there's the 28th is a council meeting in July.
So it should follow that schedule. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Awesome.
correct that.
well, I appreciate you guys, putting money into that. I live right around the corner from that property. I've seen it all the time. I remember when it was Steve's Lounge and whatever it was after that, same people that won't point after on that, but, super happy. Been hearing nothing but, over the last years, what's gonna happen to this property. So I'm excited to see that you guys, putting both feet forward on this project. So looking forward to, assisting any way I possibly can.
Have you guys ever had coffee with Pat?
Oh.
So I would encourage you all to connect. So I'm constantly actually have a meeting with Pat on Tuesday.
Okay.
Constantly encouraging him to either find a way to develop and invest in South Lansing, or maybe do this type of thing, right? Find a way to be a mentor to emerging developers and folks that are trying to do hard projects in really important areas to do projects in. So I would strongly encourage you guys to connect. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any further questions or comments from
To
committee?
clarify, Pat has done an extraordinary job on the east side, developing and retaining some of our older buildings.
Yes.
So
He needs no
that
introduction.
was the connection there in case it was.
Yeah, well, I just assumed everybody knows Pat.
He needs
I've
no
heard of him.
introduction.
Okay, well, I guess his reputation precedes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll just be quiet.
Well, let me move this, because I don't know that, outside of maybe what's now an obsolete plan over at Pleasant Grove Homes. I've never been happier to move a brownfield plan. So I would move the resolution to set a public hearing this week for July 14th.
July 14th.
Yep. For 820 West Miller, brownfield plan 86.
Okay, we have a proper motion in place. All those in favor, please state by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. All right, moving down to our last agenda item, F, resolution, set a public hearing, Brownfield Plan 88, Michigan Rehabilitation Project, 603 to 607 East Michigan Avenue. All those involved, please come to the table.
Oh, you're good. Gonna pass it.
I'm trying to rush you guys, but you have another committee meeting that starts at 4:30.
Move it fast and we can move on.
Yours is pretty. Chris has the meat and potatoes.
Why this came out after this.
I got one.
Go ahead. I'll get it after the fact.
I got more too, if you need another one.
I'll just need one for the record, so I'll just get one of theirs after the meeting.
So, yeah, and again with Lansing EDC. Before you is the request for Brownfield Plan number 88. This is a rehabilitation project in the 600 block of East Michigan Avenue. I'll go over short on the Brownfield summary on how that works, but something I wanted to note. Right. So 2023, the statute was amended, 381 was amended to include housing activities for brownfield plans. So we've had a lot of discussion, a lot of interest in that. I'm sure that you'll see more in the coming months using housing TIF, but since this is a new one for all of us, I want to provide some background on the overview. Then we'll go over with the development team here. They can provide the project overview, and then I'll request and then impact to taxes. So on the first slide here, the housing TIF. Again, this updated in 2023. Some of you may know the involvement of MEDC and Eagle in non-environmental and environmental activities of your traditional brownfield plans. This brings in a third state department for MSHDA to oversee the housing TIF. And so this would be fully in their wheelhouse to do and approve after hopefully getting the approvals locally.
And this is to incentivize attainable housing, right?
Correct. So up from 1.8% AMI. You have a breakdown here. Like for Ingham County, it's based on for that band, the income band. So when you're looking at a one-person household, that's between 52,000 and 78,000 a year that those individuals would make, which that makes up a sizable portion of our workforce. And so it's important to realize that level of job. I mean, that's some of your first responders or teachers or nurses, all of those folks often fit within the band or frankly lower than that. So this is truly looking at workforce housing, attainable housing, and supporting housing development. I'm sure you've heard this before, but our market is difficult as far as construction costs are nearly the same as any other market in the state, but the rental rates are still depressed, still lower than those. So it's market. But what you see as and I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but even with this project, although two and some of the calculations based off of the number of units that they commit to, there's reporting things based on that. It's 3 units out of the 15 for this development, but all of the units fall within the 80 to 120 AMI. So it's essentially market rate. So it's helping to support those projects. I'll introduce the development team here. So we have Westby Group is the primary developer. They are working with, there's a nonprofit that LEAP has established, LEAP Thrive, to help with some of the funding. There's a state appropriation as part of the project, which we'll go over here in just a moment. But together, this is the Michigan Avenue Revitalization LLC. So I'll let Pat, Tricia, and Jason introduce themselves.
Pat Gillespie, President of Gillespie Group.
Hi, Tricia Walthorn, CFO Gillespie Group.
Jason Kilday, Vice President of Development of Gillespie.
And if I roll?
Sure, please.
All right, we'll keep it tight. Super excited about continuing investment in the corridor of Lansing, especially the east side. A couple of the reasons we're very excited is this used to be a red light district, and what we're calling this is the last of the red light district. This is it. It's serviced the community for many years, and it's not like we're asking them to leave. I think they came and gave a presentation. They're excited to open and expand and have better services in a new building soon. I think they're moving in July. So it's coming up soon. Some of the businesses we've moved in the last couple of years with Meyer and Courtyard and Starbucks are excited about this for many reasons. So to the new tenants and then some of the other residents already live there are excited to see it get cleaned up and to be repurposed what it used to be. So that's one reason we're excited. Number two, these buildings are mostly 100 years old. Most of them, they've all come out at different times, but 100-year-old buildings come with all kinds of challenges, but they come with an opportunity to redevelop them and bring them back to life. They were everything from grocery stores to laundromats to bars to music stores, name it. It's been something over the years. So to bring back some of that history is pretty unique. And then what we're excited about as far as the brownfield part, there's 6 buildings here. 4 of them haven't been on the tax rolls in over 70, haven't been paying any taxes. So when you look at a brownfield plan, it's not like we're taking any taxes that are currently coming in. We're turning on the spigot for the first time in over 70 years. So that makes the brownfield plan, it makes Chris Klein's job really easy to say, hey, I'm turning on all new taxes. And that's when we've had the most fun, is when it helps the city and it helps the residents at the same time. So I don't know if you've ever been in these buildings. They've been retrofitted many times over the years. The entire second floor is full of bunk beds. So it's not something you could just paint and put some drywall on and turn it into apartments or turn it into whatever. It's going to require some extensive remodeling and renovation. What we'd like to do is 15 residential rental units and 5 to 6 individual retail storefronts. Right now, if you look, most of the storefronts have been windowed over or just boarded up because they don't serve that purpose. But we would like to make them all an individual business. Some of them are small, 600 square feet, but that's where we find retail market on Michigan Avenue is not strong. But the small user really is what we're finding. They can afford to open a business for $1,000 a month or $1,200 a month. When it gets to $2,000 or $3,000 a month, they start going, I can't open it. So we're gonna focus on first time startups, folks that are really looking to get going. We've opened 3 women-owned businesses across from the brewery in the last year. Very similar concept, small, affordable, easy to get started. So we're seeing a lot of activity in that market. 15 residential units, 6 retail units, could be bar restaurants, could be yoga, could be Pilates, could be custard, could be all kinds of different things. Yes. So excited to do it. We'd like to go in October and take about 12 months to bring it online. So actually next summer, I'm looking at the construction guy here. Next summer would be great to open it.
I think we're opening next summer.
But that's our plan. Any questions you have further than that, happy to dive in. We are buying the building from the City Rescue Mission, and they are utilizing that money to fund the renovation of what they're doing now.
They own all 6 buildings there.
They own all 6 buildings. We have met with all the neighbors in that block because we'd like to work with them on lighting that alleyway in the back. We'd like to enter. That's a pretty cool alleyway. We'd like to energize that and turn that on. The front, we'd like to discuss with the city about not getting rid of the rain gardens, but making them easier to clean up. Right now, all kinds of things there that's hard to get to. We've done something across the street at Meyer when we redid that project. It's cleaner. We can pick it up every morning without climbing into so we'd like to just clean up that avenue, make it better for outdoor dining, put tables out there and make it, people aren't hooking up bikes to it then. We'd rather put bike racks on the side or the back than have bikes hooked to the rain gardens like they are now. So hopefully it beautifies the entire little corridor there.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add?
From a financing perspective, we've got our proposed capital stack in here. We've been talking with Chris about a revolving fund loan from the city's revolving fund. We're also in active conversation with the MEDC on a grant. Obviously, we have the state appropriation from the state's budget of $3 million that Leap Thrive is helping us administer. And then we do have a private donor that has come forward and really wants to support the project as well. And so that's been inserted into the capital stack. And then, of course, our traditional owner's equity cash going in as long as financing. Talking with banks, a lot of banks are really, really excited about the opportunity to finance this project, given that it's on such a prominent corner downtown Lansing. So we're excited to choose a lender and get rolling.
So this is a 15-year plan, brownfield plan?
Yeah, so 15 years, we're looking at state and local capture. You mentioned the brownfield revolving fund. By utilizing that here, we're able to meet the developer's needs and keep it the 15 years. That also, allows with there's additional reporting regarding housing TIF. So it allows, that to have a more defined period of time. Get that back fully on the tax rules. So how it's broken down, we're looking at about 1.4 generated over that 15 years, about 263,002 taxing units. We have the reimbursement activities. That's around $1 million. So largest portion of that is for the LBRF. Of that revolving fund loan. Reimbursement throughout that period as well for about 300,000. We have the commitments here, again, 3 units over that 15 years will be within that 80 to 120 AMI range. Again, all the units currently fit within that range naturally. The real property improvements, their investment of 4.2, 2 FTEs, looking at October 1st of 25 start. A little bit of easing of.
Let's just keep that day here, but we're aiming for next.
Then we have the tax capture projections again. You just saw this table on the other plan. This breaks that down more fully. So about $1 million to actual eligible activity costs. You have the pass through, and this is within the Tifa district. So currently, most of that pass through go to the Tifa. It was not captured in the brownfield. It's about 260,000. We have the plan administration revolving fund. It's about 77,000, and then the state revolving fund is about 54,000.
Great. Do we have any questions from the committee?
I'm, thrilled to see that there's something happening on this block. I just passed it on my way in here today. And I thought, man, it would be great to see that activated. So it's good to hear that this is going to be activated. And I think this will carry over the other buildings that are surrounding it too, that aren't activated at this point. So I'm looking forward to seeing this thrive, including our ballpark and everything else that's happening in that area, including the rock climbing thing that's on there.
We're still working on it.
Okay, well, I'm ready.
We may need you to come in and be the heavy on it and make it happen.
In terms of the residential, Pat, what are the unit types?
Well, if you look in this plan, the orange plan, we'll call it, mostly smaller, mostly 1-bedroom and studios.
Yeah.
That seems to be our hottest product is studios. 2 bedrooms are not doing real well, or as they're not as exciting, but the 1-bedrooms, the micros, the studios are what everyone seems to want.
You got price points in here or no?
Everything falls within the 80 to 120% tables. So even though the housing TIF stipulates that 3 of our units are income restricted,
Right.
just market rents naturally fall inside of that.
$1,000 to $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
It's within the brownfield plan as well, because that's a requirement. It's broken down within that. At least again, those change on an annual basis in April. But on page 6, the brownfield plan, we have a copy of that. It shows the studio rents that we targeted.
And if I could add, the studios are within that current rate of 83 to 90% AMI, the studios, and then up to 116% AMI for the 2-bedroom. So well within the requirement. That's gone up 9%.
I guess, yeah, it's the same thing on the affirmation. I really appreciate everything you've done, Pat. I think, in 10 years, I think people are going to forget kind of who went first in downtown.
Hope they do, because I hope that means we have so much more that.
Right. Well, and you look at what's happening in terms of southern downtown activation and some of the things that are happening closer to the Capitol. And, maybe even stretching out all the way to Old Town. You look at, this, I think, real commitment to almost like 10-minute, neighborhoods and things of that nature. And then obviously everything you've done in the Stadium District and then going further along East Michigan Avenue. I just really appreciate, because without you, I don't think any of this is possible. So thank you
So
so much.
without you guys supporting these projects, they don't work. So the brownfield is critical. I think you've been a part of almost every single thing we've done. So thank you.
10 years, we're going to get Dr. Benton to move back to Lansing and into one of these units when her kids are growing up and
Got one for right here. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, we're going to make it cool to live in Lansing again. All right. We appreciate you, man. We really do.
Thank you.
Well, thanks. Any further questions or comments, committee? Will you guys be able to present on the 3rd?
You want that for both projects? I'm sorry.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Them there, the
Uh,
owners. of
Yeah, the owners of the 820 West Miller. 20 West.
20, yep.
Yeah, are you guys able to attend the 23rd? Okay, great. Okay, awesome. I'm excited about this project. Can't wait for you guys to get started on it. With that, I'm looking for a motion.
I would move to set a public hearing for Brownfield 88 for the Michigan Avenue Rehabilitation Project for July 23rd.
14th.
14th, that's what I said.
June 23rd, we'll be setting it. That's when they'll come and do their presentations.
Yeah,
Hearing it
July 14th.
Have a proper motion in place? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Okay. Seeing no further business,
Why I thought 23rd.
It's invited them for the 23rd. It was probably stuck in your head.